Hello everyone, welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football. Liverpool lose 1-0 to Southampton and is Klopp now presiding over a team of bottlers. They scored 7 goals against Crystal Palace, and then in their last 3 Premier League goals they've scored 1. They are not firing. They're firing blanks. They are not scoring goals, and it is costing them points. 2 draws and a loss in their last 3 has opened the door to this Premier League that I think that Liverpool... There's something about this Premier League season. I felt about 6 weeks ago, I thought Chelsea had a chance. They had a terrible December. I thought Spurs had a chance. They collapsed after going to Anfield. I felt Liverpool had a chance. They've collapsed after playing Palace. You know, if United beat Burnley and they go at the top, are they going to collapse at Anfield? It's like, and Man City are going to go top. Then after that, it's Man City are definitely in it now. If you look at it as well, if Man City win their 2 games in hand, they go above Liverpool. And obviously, if Liverpool take points off Man United and City win, Man City would go ahead of them as well. So it's looking to me over the next few weeks, then like United are going to be top in next week, and then maybe Liverpool will beat them, and then Man City will go top. So it's looking like it's going to be nip and tuck for quite a while in this Premier League season. But Liverpool, it's weird Liverpool. I mean, we're going to talk about Southampton, but weird Liverpool. They had the injury crisis. They seem to be doing quite well. There was, as I said many a time, I remember Leicester going to Anfield. I thought, they've got injuries. Liverpool, that'll be an opportunity. They dominated Leicester. Then they did the same to Wolves. But then they've dropped silly points like Brighton and Newcastle and West Brom and you know, Southampton are a good team, but it's not a shock if they drop points at Southampton today. But they are not scoring, as we said. Defensively, we know they've got issues, but it's not like Liverpool aren't conceding 2 or 3 goals and dropping points. They're losing points because they're not scoring. So yes, they've had an injury crisis, but the problem they've got is they're not scoring goals, as I've said many times. And that is an issue for Klopp that he's going to have to address, because you talk about centre-backs, but that's not the issue. They are not, not scoring goals against teams like Newcastle and Southampton. That's a problem. It's a real problem. I still think Liverpool will be fine. I still think that they're playing badly at the moment. They're nothing like. It's just not. There's no flow, there's no rhythm. And you look at the players that they still have: Thiago's, Mane's, Salah's, Firmino's, Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Wijnaldum. There's no excuse, and I think they will click back into gear. But maybe Liverpool over the last 2 years they've been so relentless. Can you do that 3 years in a row? I said this at the start of the season. Can Liverpool do what they've done for the last 2 years again? And there's all sorts of reasons why that's difficult. Mental fatigue. It's naturally hard to do that. They're going to have to dig deep, and their big focus now will be that game against United at Anfield, and actually it's probably the perfect game for them, really, to get motivated for. So Liverpool have opened the door, and Man City and Man United, the Manchester clubs, have got a chance to walk in. Southampton, what a season they're having. What a season they are having. I think they're up to 6th place now, or 29 points. Let me just have a quick look. Defended really, really well. I mean, to be honest with you, I watched Man United play Southampton a few weeks ago. We were 2-0 down at half-time. I thought both goals we conceded were dodgy, and we got 3 in the second half because they sat back and tried to defend the lead. I didn't see anything different from Southampton. I thought they sat back and tried to defend the lead, and Liverpool really should be kicking themselves not for scoring a goal. I think if they'd got 1, they would have got 2. And Liverpool will be kicking themselves. The goal they conceded really was preventable. Trent Alexander-Arnold, again, the apron. He's the right back. He's the opposite of Chilwell, left back, right back. Very good going forward, wide open at the back. And Trent Alexander-Arnold will be infuriating to Liverpool fans because they love him. He's fantastic. But defensively, he does cost you goals. And the finish from Danny Ings is fantastic. It's opportunist. I think the improvement of Danny Ings at Southampton has been surprising. I never realised he was that sort of a player. But Liverpool should have defended that better, and not because they haven't got centre-backs, but that's their first choice right-back, and that's on him. But beyond that, I thought Southampton offered nothing going forward really after that, and you would expect Liverpool to go and get a goal or 2. So, yeah, I mean, but Southampton, give them some credit. They are 6th. They've got 29 points. They're 4 points off the top, but obviously they've played 17 games. But they are 4 points off Liverpool. And like teams like Everton and Aston Villa, they are up there and deserve to be up there. And fair play to Southampton. They defended really well today, but I still think Liverpool will look at that and go, for all the possession we had, and we had a lot of possession, did we create the clear-cut chances to score goals? And I can't really think. I can think of one where Stevens blocked it from Mane, but They're not firing at the moment, Liverpool. They're firing blanks, and ultimately Klopp has got to get them back up and running very quickly. They play Villa on Friday night in the Cup. Do you rest players? They're not playing any Carabao Cup game. They're not playing next week. Do you give your players 2 weeks off? Or does he go with a stronger team? And the same, I think I might do a watch along for that, because I think it'll be very interesting how Liverpool approach it. But then again, Klopp might think 2 weeks off, fresh in the mind, people carrying knocks. But that's opened up the Premier League massively. And it's very, very exciting because of that. So, I mean, even Arsenal will be thinking they're in a title race now. You're not. Don't get excited. But what we are seeing this season is, and it's very hard to gauge why, whether it's fans not in the ground or not. But, you're seeing teams like Leeds and Brighton and Wolves and Palace, and they're all mid-table clubs, really. They're 17. Brighton are 17th on 14 points, but they're a long way off. But on their day, they're taking points off teams like Brighton and Newcastle have taken points off Liverpool, and Leeds have taken points off Man City. And, then you've got teams like Southampton and Everton and Aston Villa, and they're not easy games. Man United against Villa the other night, I was over the moon because Villa played well at Old Trafford. So I don't know if there's an improvement in quality or there's a drop-off in the big teams because they don't have the fans. It's probably a mixture of both. But apart from not having fans in the ground and being in this horrible lockdown, the football we're getting as a spectator is fantastic, because you just don't know what's going to happen. There's so many results wandering around like that. So I'm all for it. Man United next week against Burnley is going to be really interesting. We assume we'll win that game, but you just don't know. You really don't know. And we'll just have to see what happens. But Liverpool at the moment, they're bottling it, and Southampton have delivered a knockout blow to Liverpool that will sting. That will sting, because they just can't score goals, and that's always an issue. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and I'm back tomorrow with the FIFA career mode in the afternoon. See you in a bit. Speak to you in a bit.